guys, I'm Pete and today we're going to talk about flexing and extending in the Moguls. This is something we haven't really covered in the other videos, so I wanted to make a full video about it, but I've got my own take on it and it's a little bit different to what a lot of people say. So I thought I'd try and explain it properly and try and explain logically why I do things the way I do it. Flexing and extending is just another way of saying bending your legs and straightening them out again. You might need to use your upper body a little bit, but you want to limit that as much as possible. We also need to try and limit the amount of excess movement we're doing when we're going over or around the Moguls, which normally results in the head dipping. I always try to be quite passive with my flexing, so I let my skis hit the bump and I allow my legs to bend as much as my skis get pushed up. I then work on extending down the back of the bump, which can either control my speed or increase my speed depending on how I do it. So you're going to approach the bump with your shoulders quite upright. You're going to let your legs come up as you hit it, and then you're just going to push forward a little bit and down onto the back of the bump. The reason why I don't really bend as I go up the bump is because it's getting pushed up anyway, so that's going to happen on its own. The bit that you really need to make happen is the extending, because your body doesn't do that automatically. Your legs will fall down the back of the bump if you're not going that fast, but at a bit of speed you really need to push back out to keep contact throughout the whole of the turn. There's nothing wrong with flexing a little bit early and preempting the bump, but what you don't want to end up doing is bending more than you need to, because that's just going to knock you off balance. It's going to stop you extending out the same amount. It's going to make it harder to rotate when you're on the bump. A good way of looking at it is your head should stay at about the same height. So imagine you're skiing through a tunnel and the bumps are underneath you. So you're just going to let your legs come up so that your head stays at that height all the way down. A little bit of movement up and down isn't a problem. It's not going to really have a massive effect on your skiing. In fact, if you're going quite slow, it's really hard to just keep yourself at that same level all the time. As far as where your weight wants to be on the ski, I try and think about having my weight central on the skis. I always recommend that to start with, and then we'll move around that point. As you hit the bump, your weight will naturally get pushed onto the back of the skis slightly, so you're going to then need to just lean forward a tiny bit to get yourself over the top, maintain contact, and then you can drive down. At the point where you're driving back down, your weight will be on the front of the skis a lot more because your body's overtaking your ski. Because your skis are getting slowed down by the Mogul and your body's carrying on down the hill, you're going to overtake it, so your weight's going to go forward anyway. So you shouldn't have to put too much work in to keep that movement going. Like I said in the Moguls pole planting video, if you're going over the bump, planting at the bottom is going to help your body keep nice and low so your legs will naturally absorb even more. You want to try and keep quite strong at your core throughout the whole run. You want your legs to bend, but not your upper body. A great way to work on getting this flexing and extending by passively flexing is to try and keep the same amount of weight going into the snow from your feet at all times in your run. What I find helps is trying to have the same amount of pressure going down into the snow and obviously back up into your skis at all times in your run. If you're wanting to carve down the back of the bump a little bit more, you can extend out a little bit harder, maybe even extend out to the side. That'll allow you to get those edges working a little bit earlier in the turn. There's nothing wrong with, as you go over the Mogul, letting your skis go out to the side so your body's not really over it as much. This will get you on the edges more, you will end up with more speed, but you should feel like you can control it still, as long as you're quite happy doing a short radius carve on the piste. Link this in with the pole planting that we looked at in the last video, and you should have a nice stable run that keeps you nice and controlled, keeps your body nice and still. It should allow you to really feel the ski working underneath you as you do your turns. I hope that's given you a few things to think about. Get in the Moguls, give it a try, and just see how it goes. Stay tuned guys, subscribe if you want to see my videos first. See you later.